highly welcome. All right, welcome to the 10th series November edition. To those that are just joining us, the Digital Health series is a webinar that occurs every last Thursday of the month. You can check us out on our socials at Legacy Lab NG on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram at legacylab.ng. If you can share, we can send in an emoji, send in an emoji. Tell me if you're hearing me. Can you all hear me? If you can hear me, can you send in your emoji, please? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. And I'm your host for tonight, Bukubiodu Omonu. Of course, the most, as you all know, for those that are joining us, that's what I call myself. And I'll be welcoming on board our amiable speaker. Favor data science. She lead for data science Nigeria XU, and tonight she'll be introducing us to data science and majorly focusing on turning data into insights. You're highly welcome, Favor. It's nice having you on board. You're highly welcome. So you know how we do it. Whenever our speaker is coming on board, we tend to send in emojis. So send in your emojis. Send in your emojis. Send in your emojis. Show that, oh, you're ready for your speaker tonight. All right, you can take the floor, Favor. You're highly welcome.
Hi everyone, good evening. Please confirm if you can hear me. Please, you can react with an emoji because my laptop has been acting up the mic, so I need to be shocked. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you, Legacy Lab. Thank you to our host and every other person that's available here. You can still share the flyer on your status and remind your friends that we are live. So my name is Favour Falade. Our host already did a bit of introduction. Though I'm handing over already, but I'm the current lead for Data Science Nigeria, Ekiti State University. Yeah, Data Science Nigeria has so many branches in different campuses and different cities. So you could actually be a part of us and you could reach out to me after this call. So let's just get into the reason we are here today. So I said we're going to be talking today about data science and turning data into insights. So I just want to ask a few questions as an icebreaker. Does anyone knows what data is and what's your idea of it? Anyone can answer, please. What do you think data is? Don't be shy. I know a lot of us actually know one or two. Don't let me call any random name. I can see a lot of people here. Oh no. Okay, Firefly is not taker. There's a note taker. So anyone wants to answer that quickly? Why is everybody joining with their note taker? I'm seeing about 3, 4, 5. Who wants to answer? Let's have, so no one wants to answer. I'm going to call randomly. I'm going to call 3 people. Okay. Who is Oladele Gideon? Can you please unmute, introduce yourself, and tell us what you understand by data and data science? Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm just joining now. So, my name is Gideon. Student of XU. So, for what I understand by data is collection of, a collection of information or unprocessed facts, and then data science is the study of the collection of data. That's what I understand. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gideon. Please let's appreciate him with the applause emoji. Thank you very much for that answer. Who else wants? I'm not saying thank you, Adefemi Adewumi, for actually responding. Okay, I need just one more person. You don't know what answering these questions could actually do to you. So I want to like ask and know if you of us actually have an idea. So who else? I need a lady this time. Okay. Who else wants to answer? Who is Oluwadamilola? Oh, is a note taker. Or Adeshewa? Yes. And Adeshewa, please unmute quickly and tell us what you understand by that. Okay, I don't think she's here. Seems she's a note taker too. Okay, thank you. I can see in the chat box. Thank you again, Adefemi Adeomi. So I really appreciate the response. So in the simplest term, data is any information we collect. It can be numbers, text, pictures, videos, sound, facts, anything that we actually collect, any information that we collect. And how many of us believe that we actually generate data daily? Yes, we do. Most of the times okay, let's look at daily physical real life examples. You pick your outfits not just based on your fashion sense, but one of the reasons you pick them is because of the state of the weather. Or you know that, oh, that season it's like rainy or dry. You already studied like, oh, this is a particular month where rain falls or it's really hot. So you actually have to like wear something that's suitable. Or your phone, the amount of times that you actually spend online, the amount of hours, that's actually an example of data. And some of us have step trackers on our phone, or we use Instagram, we use so many social media apps. A lot of data is generated from there. Most of the things that we do, in our speech, acts, we generate data every minute. Billions of data are generated daily. So, like I said already, data is any information we collect. It can be numbers, text, pictures, videos, sound, or fact. I'm going to share my screen now to just share my slide. I did this evening. So, okay. Please give me a few minutes.
All right, sorry guys. I think she's trying to set up our system over there, and it's my network. So while we wait for her, she spoke about data. For those that are just joining us, she spoke about data. She asked questions about data, and few people had giving us some ideas of on what data is all about. And basically, we should all know by now that data is basically a collection of information. That's just what data is like. In plain language, I would say, in plain language, that is collection of informations. It can be stored, analyzed, to gain insights or make informed decisions. It can come in various forms such as numbers, text, images, audio, and videos. It can be categorized into structured data. We have unstructured data. We have semi-structured data. Data is used in many fields. It includes, businesses. It is used in science. It is used in healthcare industries. It is used in technology. Most of the AI models we are seeing now without data, they cannot function. They can't. So that's basically what data is. And for those that are just joining us, you're highly welcome. We are waiting for our speaker to come back on board. I think there's a break in transmission. At Olodamilola, kindly mute your mic, please. All right, she's back. She's back. She's back. She's back. You're welcome.
I'm
People.
so sorry. Actually, I'm having serious network issues where I am, but I think it's stable now. I already switched. So thank you very much for actually engaging while I was away. I'll make sure to be um very fast. Okay. All right, so let's just quickly get into it. So I said what we're going to be covering in the next few minutes is what data is about. So we already defined what data science is, right? And all that it actually entails. So can we all hear me, please? Okay, yes. So I was we already talked about some real life examples, but let's talk about the ones that we practically use daily. For example, TikTok. How many of us use TikTok here? A whole lot of us, right? We use TikTok and there is a for you page. For you page is like, for example, the things that we like. If you like a video, you will find similar recommendations of that particular video, right? If you like a particular dance style, you find out that it looks like you are getting addicted, or you're staying longer on that app. It's not just because of it. You find it that it's interesting. The more you scroll and scroll and scroll, find more things that are interesting to you. That is because these apps already studied your data and are presenting things that you would actually like. That is just a TikTok scenario. Same thing with Netflix. If you like a particular kind of movies, more will get suggested to you. Your recommendations will be tailored to your interest because of data. It's not random. You don't find out that they project more action movies or K-drama or all of that randomly. It's because they already studied how you do it. So same thing with top social medias that have ads and everything. They've already seen what you actually like. So that is why they can actually I use Instagram. I like the post, and the next, let me say, 5 to 6 things I saw immediately after scrolling was something relating to that. So you will get more information, more adverts, or everything because of they've studied your patterns on this app. So that is the power of data, and that is what it actually that is the importance. Sorry. So the next part is why it matters. Data is literally everywhere, like everywhere. There is no minute that we're not generating data. And data drives business decisions. For example, a company that probably, let's say Fat Ice, they sell ice cream, and they notice that there is a particular time of the day where people actually purchase it more, or a particular season in the year where it's more purchased, probably hot seasons or dry seasons. That is because they know that they will sell more because of the season. And also, if a particular flavor is purchased more than others, it means that they've seen that, or if they, assuming they decided to sell strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate, and strawberry finishes faster, or people order for it more, they would look at this insight and say, oh, let's produce more of strawberry. So it drives business decisions. So now let's go to, like, in business world, maybe a marketing company or a sales company, they say that, oh, this particular kind of ad converts, or this particular range of customers use our app more or purchase this more. These are the things that they will study. They collect this data and help improve their businesses, either for their own benefit to gain more, and also to make sure that they do not lose their market share or they don't lose customers. So data drives business decisions, and it also helps to predict the future, right? So there are so many things that we can actually, like, see when people try to, like, use data to predict the future. It's like, oh, I want, for example, we use Google Map a lot. I know some of us on this call are from Exu or on other places, but you will travel from Lagos or Abuja or wherever, and you use Google Map. Or even in Lagos, if you have checked Google Map, sometimes there are some parts in the map where they will say, oh, there will be traffic in some particular places. How are they able to predict it? It's because they've studied patterns of how or what time of the day this particular part of the road is usually congested. Maybe rush hours, when people are actually, like, going to work early in the morning, or in the evening when people are returning, or a particular setback in that area. So they can predict the future. When you notice this thing, if you check the app and you can see, oh, there is going to be a hold up or something in this place, you know how to maneuver. Maybe you leave your house earlier, or you try to, like, send an email to, like, your boss or something on time, just to combat the situation. So that we use data to also predict the future. We use it for many other things, even in our daily lives, even unconsciously. Like I said, we actually use data to make decisions. The reason you would decide, oh, I think some of us, even in school, a particular lecturer or doesn't come to class, or you already know that this kind of lecturer always gives assignment or ask questions. How would you prepare? You read up at home, so that in case they call you, you'll be able to answer. Or you know that this particular lecturer always give assignment, you know that you dare not miss his class. So just like you studied past experiences to make sure that you are prepared for the future. So that's another way that data science matters, and it is used in wide ranges. It's also used in healthcare, predicting future with data. We can use it in even hospitals use it to predict or diagnose diseases. So it is very, very applicable in different fields. I don't particularly have a tech background. I did not study computer science, statistics, mathematics, and everything that data science entails. I studied microbiology, but regardless, I'm still in data space. That's another reason people actually love data science, because it's applicable in almost every field. So anyone here that is not studying anything technical or math related, that is like a cue for you to actually pick it up, because it has a lot of potential. I've attended some events and I see so many people doing research in data space, solving problems. I see, in fact, in a year, I can't count the amount of artificial intelligence events, innovation challenges, and everything that actually happens in just a year. So it's actually something that is gradually evolving, and I don't think it's dying anytime soon. We use ChatGPT, we use LLMs, we use so many things. The ChatGPT that we use is not just that it's providing answers. It's providing answers based on data that it has been fed. You can ask ChatGPT today, what is the answer to this question? It is not that it has a mind of its own. ChatGPT is not human, doesn't have mind of its own, but it can provide the answers for you because it has been fed those answers with data. So data is so important. Like, it's literally very, very applicable in different fields. And we can see that it has actually changed our lives, so many things. Though there are bad sides to using data, and that's why there are so many bodies that actually protect the use of data and use of human data, of users' data, sorry. But regardless, there are a lot of good sides to it. And also, I know that some of us have tried to log on to websites, and that's actually a measure that actually helps people seek consent to use our data. When you log onto a website and they say, oh, we have accept cookies, right? When you accept, it's not that they are trying to exploit you, but you already accepted that data that they get from your using of the app or the website, they can use it to improve the app or also use it for their benefit. So that is another, minute way you can actually see data daily, even though you don't know. I'm happy to actually like tell you about it now. So next slide quickly, where you see data science. Okay, I already mentioned this: Google Maps, fraud detection, TikTok algorithm, Netflix recommendations, online shopping suggestions. I know some of us order online, maybe on Jumia or Temu, all other online e-commerce stores, or you find an ebook or something. If you like something, they will suggest more. So there's also like the online shopping suggestions. And okay, the next one we have, okay, the data science process. Sorry, I need to quickly get water. Just 2 minutes. Okay, so data science process. The first one is ask a question. For example, there are so many ways of collecting data. You can collect data through surveys, you can collect data through web scraping. Most of all these websites, you can get data, through web scraping and so many other ways. But when you get the data out, sell stuff to people. If they realize that their sales are dropping, they would ask a question. For example, why are my sales dropping? And that is where they need a data analyst in a big company. We need a data, there is usually need for a data professional in each company, every company. Without data professionals in a company, companies are just guessing. They can just say, why are our sales dropping? Maybe because we didn't do this or we didn't do that. But if they have the data of their customer, of their users, they will know exactly why their sales are dropping. So they ask the question first. So the first thing to ask when you have the data is asking the question. So why are my sales dropping? Why are people ordering for this more? Or why are we getting low on revenue or something? So then they gather the data. For example, like I said, if it's a company that actually offers something, is it sales data or prices, the time that people actually use on their app or something? It could be that, the reason that their sales are dropping or the reason they are losing customers is because the onboarding process of their app is taking a lot of time or a lot of process to do, and people don't like spending a lot of time on something. The way people, yes, I've seen so many tweets online that this recent age, people have low attention span, or people don't like to read or watch long form content or something. So all these information are important for a big company to make decisions. So if something like that happens, they need or different kind of data, either the timestamp, the location of users that it could be that, it could also be that it's a particular location where their sales are dropping. I'm just using the company that actually provides services of that sells something to people, right? That's why I keep saying sales. But it could be different reasons. It could be that a particular location has lost access to their website, or a particular product is having an issue or something, but they might not know because they have thousands of users and they cannot meet each user directly, right? They cannot be asking, oh, why did you stop using this, or why did you stop purchasing from us? So what they do is that they actually find a way to get this data through different data tools, which I'm still going to get onto later. So they collect this kind of data. There are different data that they can use. They collect, then they exploit. Sorry, they claim the data actually. Sometimes you could actually get data and it could, instead of what you put, SS or outliers or different things can actually also be in the data. For example, I mentioned earlier that people use survey forms or Google Forms to also receive data. So if you want to do a market research or something, you could actually use a form. For example, a lot of, I don't know if anyone of us is in 400 level or we've graduated, a part of your project, not all do, but at least some of us did it, where you have to like write a questionnaire or ask people to fill a form for you or something. And there's a backend in Google Form where you'll be able to see the responses and all. So one way that data can be dirty, when we call data dirty, is that, for example, maybe we tell people to fill their gender. Maybe if it's not something that you can tick, if you ask them to just fill it, instead of typing female, or maybe they miss a letter or something happened and they did not spell it properly or something, data collection process can be tedious sometimes, and other things can actually be wrong. So the data might actually be dirty. So when you're actually trying to get insight, it's going to actually affect it. So data cleaning process is always important. There are different tools, like I said, I'm still going to get to it, that we actually use to make sure that the data is clean, so that any outlier, maybe excessive results. For example, if a particular part of a customer filling a survey, or a website pulling data or something is either 1 to 5, maybe they have to fill a number between 1 to 5, and you see an input and you're seeing 1,500, that's already an outlier, and there's something wrong with that part. So we have to clean all those parts. So then we explore data. After proper cleaning, there's something that we actually do in data. We call it garbage in, garbage out. If you have dirty data and you work on it like that, it's also going to be garbage out. And garbage out means wrong insight. And wrong insight means problem for your business, your venture, or anything. So that is why data cleaning is actually important. So then exploring the data. So like I was saying earlier, I'm using a company that actually sell something, right? If they've gotten the data, then they can now study it. Though we're not just looking at, we have tools for all of this. Exploring the data. Which days have low sales? Okay, what kind of thing do people, maybe a particular day of the week as highest order for maybe a particular product. They could actually notice that and actually say, okay, on this day we would produce more of this. Or if that particular day is when it reduces, we would actually find the reason. So which days have low sales? What happens on those days? Do rainy days affect sales? Like I said, so sometimes it could be that it's in Nigeria now, it could be raining in some places and not be raining in some places, and a particular company sells a product where, okay, it's kind of a seasonal kind of product. Of course, people that need it in the places that are dry would use it, but people that don't need it in the place that it's always raining would not. So they could actually study all these patterns and know how to serve their customers and their users well. So we explore the data and actually try to notice all of these things. Or, for example, like I mentioned earlier also, if it is our final year project that we actually conduct data on, you are still trying to understand why students are addicted to social media, or why a particular kind of student are addicted to a particular social media, maybe not all of them. I've noticed that they spend more time on social media because of lack of, sometimes people have misplaced priorities, right? They think that, they just want to have fun or do all of these things, or maybe you're trying to study why teenagers or people in a particular location are entering, early marriages, being abused, and they're like trying to study all of this. There are different things that people actually do research on and people collect data on. So people study these things to provide solutions. When we defined data science earlier, we said there are things that we collect to make better decisions. Then when we've explored data, we build a model. If for example, if you want to predict future sales, you train a model. A model is simply a computer learning from past data so that it can predict new things. We use Python actually, and there are some other tools also, but mainly we use Python to train a model. You feed that model with data. For example, I was saying earlier about sales, right? If you feed a model with sales data, that, this is what has been happening in the past. Now, tell us what's going to happen in the future, so we'll be able to act on time. towards it. So after exploring the data, we feed that same data to a model that we build, right? Then when it actually builds the model, we can now interpret the results and see, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is what happens. This is what I'm sure maybe some of us have already like watched movies or seen a place where you see some people holding charts, showing in charts, trying to explain to, like, in a board meeting, for example, that okay, this is the next step of action that we do. Yes, they are just trying to communicate the result they've gotten from the company's data. So we do this, we interpret these results using different means, like visualizations, chart, bar graph. I don't know, some of us in our secondary schools, we did measures of central tendency, right? We did mean, median, mode. We learned about different charts. This is where they apply it. We apply it in data science, in statistics. So we use all these things to actually like interpret results. So if it is to like divide this, add this, present it in a chart, a actually well pleasing, well looking chart to communicate, because you as a data professional in a company, your job is to like get this data and find the pattern. But the owners of the company might not know all those technical parts. They just want to see the problem and they just want to see the solution you are providing. So all this ask a question, collect data, clean data is for the data professionals. But this interpreting results and communicating insights is you talking to your, the owners of the company or the people that actually need the solution. So then we present what we got from that data to people and tell them, oh, this is what is going to help them improve in that, to actually get better. So yeah, and the next one, sorry, is, okay, I already mentioned, why are sales dropping? Why do students fail? Example, if you want to, I know there is a particular event I went to 2 years ago, a data event. What they asked us to do in the competition was analyze why a lot of students failed JAM that particular year. I think they use real data. Yes. And that is actually a very interesting thing to study, right? People that did it right now, they got a lot of recognition just by studying it. So, they gathered student scores by JAM board, did so many things with permission. Like I said earlier, their bodies protecting all of these things. So it's not just that something that you can just, there's some data that they actually sell. The thing that is not all of them that you can just jump on. So you can analyze why a student in a particular school or class fails. It could be environment, it could be the learning system, it could be parental, home trauma, whatever it is. So it's actually something that people do. So ask a question: why are sales dropping? Why do students fail? What time is equality was? This is like a chemistry kind of thing. I was mentioning earlier that it's applicable in different fields. So the next one, like I said, collecting data. We use surveys, company records, websites. Yeah, we use web scraping, public data sets. Public data sets, we can get them from Kaggle. Anyone interested in learning can actually go to Kaggle websites and get mock data or dummy data to practice on. So there are public data sets and different means of actually getting data. Then cleaning the data, fixing errors, removing duplicates. I was mentioning something about male, female, wrong data entry. But then there's sometimes that you collect a data and it repeats twice, 3 times more. So that duplicate can also affect your analysis and the insight generated. So we also remove duplicate. There's some part that could also get missing. So we remove missing values. And sometimes in the process of collecting data, instead of, for example, you want to collect the name of a customer and it's the format in the spreadsheet or the tool you are using is showing as text instead of numbers, you actually have to also standardize format. Is it in percentage you want it in? Is it in decimal, 2 decimals? A lot of processes. When you begin to learn data science, you will understand all these things. So the cleaning process too is also very important. Like I said earlier, garbage in, garbage out. If you don't clean the data properly, your insights will be wrong, and it will also cause big problem for the company or whatever it is that you're analyzing their data or the results you want to get. So we explore the data also, we create charts, we look for patterns, identify trends. It's just like we are asking the data questions. So what are you trying to tell me? What is data saying? Just like you're questioning it. Okay, I've seen this in this location, people do this more. In this location, it is dropping. In this location, things are actually improving or a particular set of people are doing this, what the data is actually saying. So that is another thing that we do to data. And the next one, we build a model. Like I said, building a model means I am telling helping the computers to learn from past data. Then we use it for predictions, and there are different kind of models. It could be simple or advanced ones. Sorry. Yes, so building a model means helping the computers to learn from past data. Please, can we still hear me? I've been talking a lot since. Please, can you
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, so the next one. Then interpret result. I already mentioned that. What does the outcome mean? What decisions can be made? And is the solution helpful? Then we communicate the insights to the board people or for yourself if it's a personal project through dashboards, charts, simple explanation, clear storytelling. There's also a part of data science that we call storytelling. It's not just about telling them, oh, at this part it's improved, at this part is reducing, or it's higher here, or this part something happened in this place, but actually structuring the insight into something that could actually resonate with the people that are your audience. Yes, so there's also clear storytelling part where you have to communicate these insights. So practical example, I said earlier, student performance. We want to understand student performance, maybe in a class or in a school. The kind of data that we're going to collect is the student attendance, the submission of their assignment, their study hours, their exam scores. So depending on what you want to analyze, that is the kind of data you would collect. Yes. So if you want to analyze student performance, you have to collect their attendance, assignment, study hours, exam score. If you want to analyze sales data, you have to collect user ID, the times of when the amount of times they've ordered, their location. Sometimes, yes, location actually works, their gender, the kind of things they actually order. So depending on what you want to analyze or get insight for, that is the kind of data you actually collect. So for example, someone that sells fruits, the kind of data you will collect is weather data. There are some fruits that are seasonal, that at some part of the year they're not actually outside. It's either they're scarce, expensive, or they are not even available. We also collect the price, customer count, day of the week. Then the insight will be, sorry, I think there's a mistake here. But then we know the kind of data that we actually collect. Then there are tools to actually use. We have Excel and Google Sheets. Excel is a spreadsheet tool. There is rows and columns where when you actually extract data from all these websites and all, you can actually get them there. I know some of us know what Excel is. Microsoft Excel, and there is also Google Sheets. So in Excel, we can clean the data. Inside Excel, we can standardize formats and all those things that we have actually mentioned earlier. So sorry, excuse me. As a beginner, we used to advise that people start with Excel, spreadsheet tools. First of all, learn what rows and columns are, learn what, you can also generate charts in Excel, but people will prefer Power BI or Tableau because they have so many editing features and also an opportunity to publish it to the web. But you can also generate, for practice, people start with Excel and Google Sheets. So Then Power BI and Tableaus for dashboards. There are different kind of charts you can produce in Power BI or Tableau. There is, bar charts, line charts, column charts, all these things that actually things are important. And there's a way you can also arrange your insights in Power BI that each chart tells a story and follows each other gradually. And there's SQL. Sometimes when you actually have collected this data, you might not need all the tables in that data. SQL just like is a relational database where you speak to the data, not speak directly, but we use queries to ask or request for some things from that data. You request tables, then you export it into Google Sheets and generate your insights, right? SQL is also a tool that you learn, but the way I arranged it is the way you actually need to start from: Excel, Power BI, Tableau, SQL, then Python. Then Kaggle is a public database, right? Public database where you can get practice data. So if you're here and maybe later you want to start practicing, you could just search. It has thousands and thousands of data that you can use to practice. So Kaggle is a place where you can actually get data. So beginner's roadmap: learn Excel and do small projects. You don't have to say, oh, because I have to do this, I don't overload yourself with so many information at the time. Start with a tool, learn Excel. There are so many projects that you can do with just Excel. So you pick a project. There are so many facts. Also, I'm going to talk about optimizing your LinkedIn too, but I know that there are so many things that you can also get from LinkedIn. People recommending so many online classes, that people that can give you projects to actually work with. There are also courses that you can take. There's a Google Data Analytics certificate course. There is Data Camp. I use Data Camp. Data Camp is very amazing, very interactive. It's a paid, if it is just that it's paid, and they might start scholarships for it next year. At the beginning of the year, they do a lot of scholarships, beginning and middle of the year. So all those opportunities will be shared, right? You could just apply and use it because it helps you learn quickly. But then there is also IBM data analysis certificates and certifications. That's another story on its own, but there are different tools and courses that you can use to learn. So learn Excel, start from small ones, do small projects, practice with Kaggle data. You can't get access to real world data yet, so you have to start with dummy data. You get so good that big companies seek after you and you get to handle real world data. But you can get practice data from Kaggle. Learn charts and visuals, build a portfolio, join tech communities, stay consistent. Communities help. I have so many stories on how much communities have helped me. Even in EXU, some of us on this call can relate. So many communities online. Yes, there's like I was introduced earlier as lead for data science Nigeria. Data science Nigeria is also a community you can join. You can GDGOC also host tech and data events. So there are so many opportunities you can get. Is communities help you to know, okay, this is where I need help. You can easily meet one or two people and say, okay, please keep me accountable. So that is the essence of communities. So stay consistent. If you keep skipping your learning, you keep forgetting what you have learned. Consistent practice will help you stay updated, learn more. Sincerely, there are new things that are coming up daily. And if you don't stay up to date, you keep missing out. So consistency, if you can decide to pick a time of the day daily or weekly, the amount of hours you want to dedicate to it. Most of all these courses online now allow you to fix a particular time or the amount of time you can dedicate to, so you will stay consistent. Some of them are already imputing this trick feature so that you even miss a day, you have to start all over again. Not the whole course, but your streak will start all over. So all these things help you to build consistency. So stay consistent. So opportunities in data: there's data analytics, there's business intelligence, machine learning, freelancing and remote work, AI roles, data engineering. Data is very, very, very wide. There's so many. I said earlier, it is very applicable in science, even in law. If people feel like they can use to analyze crime rates to actually know, but watch so many movies, trying to know if a criminal did something, or there's so many ways it's very applicable. It is applicable in medicine, in business. so many ways, so many ways. So there's so many things that you can actually do and get in the data space. And also you don't necessarily need to have all the that was, I put this here intentionally because people ask me that how did I pivot into data science when I was studying a biological science course. And it is not something that is limited to just a particular set of people. You can pick it and learn it. In fact, it's raining so much. It's something that you can pivot to and still excel in. Now you can, there's bioinformatics, right? And you need Python, you need R, so many tools that you need in that space. There is statistics in so many fields. So you don't necessarily need the very highly technical background to start it. You just have to, find a community, your passion, courses, and be consistent. Start from where you are, keep learning, and anyone can actually do data science. Really, you can actually start it today and you keep, in fact, you feel like, oh, the year is ending, can I still, you can start today, 27th November, and at least you can, if you are consistent, by December 31st you will have learned at least one tool, and by next year you can now like start say, okay, I want to learn other ones. So that is like a brief of all I was going to say. And I was actually going to show a particular dashboard that I built recently. Not recently, it was an old one because this is not the one I use, but I could quickly show that. But before then, okay, so does anyone have any questions before I show that? Okay, I'm seeing a question. What trend should aspiring data scientists pay attention to in the coming years? Okay, what trend should aspiring data attention to? Is it like the specific areas they should focus on? A lot of things, like I said, data science is really, really getting fast and in high demand. A lot of companies are seeking. Every single day I see recommendations of AI engineer, machine learning. Oh, I was meant to even define what each role in data science plays, because we are, like I said, there is different aspects and different branches of data science, right? So there is the data analyst, where gets data and analyze it in charts and all. There is the data analyst, they look at data and explain what it means. They are like the storytellers of data. There is also the data scientist, they build smart systems. So though a data analyst can be the one checking the data and presenting it and in chart, and or a data analyst can also still build a model, but data scientists are the ones that do that most. So talking about the trends that they should pay attention to, I cannot like pick a particular one, but they can actually like learn differences. But I think last year I started with data analytics, and everybody was like, people, you have to pivot to machine learning. A lot of all these events are international, they're focusing on machine learning. So I was kind of a bit pressured. I was like, okay, maybe I should just start doing machine learning also. But I was overwhelmed because I didn't think I was perfect or very good enough in one. And people were like, this is one that is raining and raining. So we should not just like focus on what everybody is saying and try to like overwhelm ourselves with so many tools. Gradually, there are so many opportunities. Like the more I am a believer, and most of the things that I do, I try to ask God before I like jump into them. But based on what or your interest and what God has asked you to do, gradually you should stick to them and see it. But the way everybody's integrating AI into things, that you're a data analyst does not mean you should not know a bit of data science and data engineering. A data engineer is the one that actually gets this data, most of them, make them properly into tables, make them usable by data analysts. It's just like they are working together, right? So it's just like we depend on each other, those three roles and some other ones. So everybody needs. So what I could say is like a trend that people can actually pay attention to is you can learn, stick to one and learn, but at least still know the rudiments of the other roles, because now everybody's like integrating AI in their apps, learning this, learning that. So you should not just box yourself in one place and be vast on information, but still create a balance. Master one very well before jumping into another one. Yes, a lot of things are evolving every single day. We are seeing new tools coming up and new, innovations, so many other things. But everybody's trying to get smart and everybody's trying to, get money. It's also a motivation to do data science, right? But it's still something that we should do. We should not lack information. We should always stay updated. Thank you very much. Is there any other questions? Okay, yes. I think let me just quickly run over the different rules. A data analyst look at data and explain what it means. Explain it in charts, visuals, and all. A data scientist build system that can predict things. So that's like the difference. While a data engineer build systems and pipelines that move data from one place to another. While a machine learning engineer is one that build these models and turn them into apps or products. So just like a whole thing. Why everybody have each roles. That is why I said you should always stay updated on information. So all this data that we get, we can see how it's applied in real life, and now we can get insights how it is useful in education, in healthcare, in business, so many things, and how we generate data daily. So thank you very much for listening and for paying attention. And for everyone that joined this call, is there any other question? Checking the chat now. Thank you very much.
All right, you can see Favor Victor reasons, and thank you very much, Favor. You can go ahead and ask your question, Victor.
Okay, thank you so much, Favor. I mean, I really learned a lot. But I wanted to ask, is there a way I can connect to you personally? I have some questions I would like to ask.
Um, okay. I should have pasted my LinkedIn. You can just search Favor Falade on LinkedIn, right? And send me
Yes,
a
I
message.
have.
I'll
I followed you on LinkedIn.
on
I'll
LinkedIn.
send you
Okay,
a
please
message.
just
Yes.
send the message, please. Thank you
Yes.
very much.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so that's that for tonight. Thank you all for joining. So our beautiful speaker, thank you very much. That was a very, very insightful session with you. And for those that are just joining, those that are joining late, those that are confused, you can always watch a recap of everything that was said on this series on our YouTube channel at Legacy Lab NG. And also do us follow our social media and do at Legacy Lab NG and on Instagram at Legacy Lab with NG. Once again, everything that you have learned, it's not just for learning sake, it's not just for the sake of you hearing it, but for you implementing it. Yes, she has. She has answered the question. She has answered the question. She has answered the question. Please, if you have other questions for her, you can reach out to her on LinkedIn at Sivo Falade. You can reach out to her on LinkedIn, or you can check Legacy Lab NG on LinkedIn. You definitely see her tagged on LinkedIn through our page. So thank you all once again. Thank you very much for joining us. For those that are aspiring to become a data scientist, a data analyst, don't put them through. You can see that you have a mentor right now. So these are one of the things that are going to be benefiting from joining Legacy Lab is the Edge series every last Thursday of the month. We bring exclusive speakers on board to talk to you, enlighten you, put you through on how to go about your career purpose, your careers and everything. Not even careers, it's entrepreneurship. So thank you very much. We have just 1 month to go in 2026. It was nice being this with you. See ya all next month, last Thursday. Bye bye. Have a wonderful night rest.